Evening, everyone. Charlotte, you're first in the room. Jimbo, hello Jimbo. Paul, Anita, Donna Noel, how are you? Buenas noches. Liam Peter Kennedy. It's actually Lauren. Hiya, Lauren. It's actually quite chilly up on the roof today. So we're on 150. It's Tony. Hello, Tony, my mate Tony. Good man, doing good things in the north of England. And Tony, actually, I think I'm going to make you as a point of reference because it's something I want to talk about tonight. The stuff you deal with will be relevant. So, right, let's have a look how many hits I'm on. I just keep getting these silly messages that keep propping up, and they're stopping my ting. 185. Hello, Eric. 191. Right, 18. Oh, drop down. I don't know how the viewing figures go. 196. So a couple more, and then we're up and running. 198. Mario. Hello, Mario. Hello, Mr. Cheese. The big Mr. Cheese. So we're on 200. Hello, Simone, my beautiful neighbour, Simone. Hi, Simone. Can you make sure Nathan walks the dog, Simone? He says he does, but the dog tells a different story. Dogs don't lie, but yet my Nathan does. Sorry to say. Right, here's London. One of the side effects of everyone going back to work, I can't see how they can even possibly still even want to lock us down. The smog is back, which is a terrible side effect. What's happening in London? Funny enough, my boss said, I saw you on the internet the other night. So my boss has sussed out that I go up on his roof, and there we go, there's London. The sun going down over the west as it always does for some reason. Is that a flat earth thing? Who knows? Yeah, it is smoggy. You know, we're still in a lockdown. It's pathetic. I can't believe anyone believes it. I really can't. It's madness. Absolute madness. And I want to say something. Tony O'Neill's there, and he's got the man shed up in the northwest of the country, helping people that are suicidal. Now, I've got quite a few jobs on the go. One of them I'm working with autistic kids, and I said to the headmaster on my return back to work after being furloughed, I said, how many kids have died? How many kids are coming back to school? And he went, every one of them. A few hundred kids there. And I said, how many teachers have died? He went, none. So I said, well, how the hell is it a pandemic then? I mean, this is what we got to look at. They said a pandemic and the world's gone in lockdown. It's not. It's mind control. It's something badly sinister. Look at the size of that sun that they've done to us. This is unreal. I believe it. Honestly, I don't want to upset anyone, but I can't believe people believed it. It's a nonsense. It is a lie. You know, I don't know anyone who's died of this. And I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and but I know three people who have died of suicide due to child abuse because of this lockdown. Well, not because of this lockdown, obviously because of the child abuse, but during this lockdown. 3 people. So that's 3 times as many as I know because it's lockdown. So we go on those proportions. So you know, on this microcosm of facts that I've come up with, child abuse kills more people, 3 times as many people as coronavirus. Yet they don't try and sort that one out, do they? Now, last night we had a God bless you, Tone. We had a live. Now I want to explain about my lives. I want to explain how much bravery it takes for someone to come on one of my lives. right? They are spilling their beans on a lifetime of being a victim of the most horrific abuse that those who've never endured it can't even imagine, all right? Can't even imagine. They even their family don't know, yet they are coming and talking on camera, live. Can you imagine? This is a bit like the news, you know, and they've got it's a 5-second delay or something, and they've got support staff. So enough if someone starts saying effing this and CUN this, right? They can blot it out. I know definitely LBC Radio do that, because I've been on it a couple of times. Right, and all these support teams. I've got no backup. There is no belt, braces or string when it comes to what I do on my live podcast. I am interviewing people that have come from incredibly traumatic backgrounds, people that on most occasions I have never physically met before. I don't know who they are. Some of them have got a history of extreme violence behind it. I'm not denigrating them, and all those that have done podcasts with me know who I am, so you know they know that there's substance in what I say. And these people could be triggered at any moment, right? Hi Amanda, I need a haircut, right? At any moment could be triggered, right? And there is a volcano of emotion in these people, a volcano of emotion that is just, it's like a boil, a cyst ready to explode and let all this filth of the years of abuse out, right? I don't know what to expect or anything. And do you know what? My faith goes in Jesus, and we talk because it's a right thing to do. We talk because we're telling the truth. And then we get all these tossers that put these negative comments in, and lovely to see. There was some bizarre woman called Tracy sticking negative comments on. I blocked her now. And again, when you take on friend requests, I take people on. They want to send me a friend request, and you know, I take them on their word. And of course, some of them are trolls. But they are getting smashed into the long grass when they start their behaviour. There was a woman, hello, Mr. Cornish. Hopefully have a drink with you soon, Davey boy. My good mate, Mr. Dave from Cornwall. Davey Brown, and I would love Davey Brown to give his testimony and talk about what he's been through and our friendship, because I think that would make an interesting one, Dave. Right, and so it's an incredible leap of faith on all of us. They put their faith in me that I'm not going to make them look foolish, and I'm, you know, do you know what I mean? And denigrate them in some way, embarrass them, rubbish them, belittle them, demean them, and make a mockery of their suffering. They put their faith in me that I'm not going to do it. I like that backdrop. And do you know what? I don't do it because why would I? I'm there to defend and protect them. And like I said, we've got a little team, a little aftercare team now. You don't get that with any other podcasters. And these people are speaking out about the most horrific abuse, and their perpetrators are incredibly connected people. And I mean connected people. All right. Already someone rang me up today, a woman who wants to speak out about SRA, and she got warned today not to speak to me. Someone said, we know you're going to speak out. I suggest you don't do it. Right? Why? Because they're the ones in fear. They're the ones in fear. The fact that someone has to threaten someone means they've got a problem. You don't get me threatening anyone because I ain't got a problem. I ain't got a problem. My problem is with the abusers. There's no threat. We're going to do what we're going to do. I'm not threatening anyone. We're doing it. And we are doing it. And we are doing incredible things. We are moving mountains. And we're seeing that, you know. And whatever people have done, then you can repent. You can say you're sorry. You can try and pull it right. Or you can continue to hide, cover up, and perpetrate more crimes, you know. It's up to you. You all have a choice. You all have a choice, and I agree with what people say about Satanists and abusers, that, you know, the devil didn't make them do it, they chose to do it, and I agree. Mostly they chose to do it, but they are doing the devil's work when they do these things. And we saw Jen was physically shaking. She was shaking. She had been up for 3 nights and 3 days shaking prior to that interview. You know, if you'd have seen how she was, and she actually regressed and triggered into an altered state of a child. Around her, she had all little sweets like a little kiddie would have. And I'm not denigrating you, Jen, because I want people to know, you know, and because I think you was incredibly brave, because it's a wounded child within, the wounded child. But then when you saw her, when I mentioned what, you know, about her abusers, and of course she's got a huge problem with people attached to Freemasonry in America, and you saw her response when I said, what would you say to them? And she just shouted, she couldn't control it, she shouted out, F off. Unbelievable, you know, incredible. And she has only told us a small, smidgen, a minute percentage of what's gone on, you know, and hopefully she'll be back. She's worried about her close family members. We dispatched a little security team round to make sure they were all right last night, and the security team, a little bit of funding came through from someone, God bless that person, they know who they are, which has funded the security team. So this is how it works, and on we go. So thank you to everyone who's helping out, contributing. We're still on the mission for the night vision goggles. A guy in America is looking into sourcing a pair. We need 2 pairs. They are expensive, they're 500 quid a pop. And we will post, you know, the exact type and everything else that we're after, so people know, because you're going to get the troll saying, John, why did you do this, John, why did you do this, and all that nonsense. But, you know, it's coming in hard and fast now. I could have never, ever have imagined when I walked out of the old bill that I would end up doing this. Never. I really, really couldn't. And it's just when people say they have a calling, you know, it's like these world champions say, I knew I was going to be world champion and all that. It's just something inside. Hold on, I'm just reading your messages. And with what we do, not just myself, but our whole team, we have a calling, the whole team. And there was a real phenomenal support network there yesterday. You know, we were up against the dark realms. We had, you know, big bad Brian Knox there, not bad Brian Knox, but you know what I mean. Lovely Brian Knox there with Christine, Evelina and Dora. Good, hardcore, staunch believers in Jesus. They were there praying, you know, helping out. And my lovely friend Jenny, and Jenny, we were talking about, Jen gave the video, but Jenny is yet to give her testimony. And when Jenny does, you're going to be shocked what Jenny went through. Jenny is a lady that came over, I think she's either born here or she came over from St. Vincent's, Caribbean island. She's a black lady. She was placed into care at the age of 3. And that's when her torment started. From the age of 3, she was locked in a shed in Buckinghamshire with 2 other black girls. And whatever we've heard from Jenny and Jeanette, Jenny went through. And Jenny's body is a like an atlas, a map of scar tissue, where they burnt her with cigarettes, tormented her, racially abused her, sexually abused her, morally abused her, spiritually abused her, you name it, she's been through it. Been used as a breeder, all sorts, satanic ritual abuse. And her abusers, do you know what? They won an award. They won an award, right? They got a national award from Social Services in Buckinghamshire, right, for their services to children of difference. Children of difference. They classed Jenny as a child of difference because they looked after ethnic and disabled children. So ethnic and disabled children were given to this couple, and he was high up in the RAF, you know, and then ended up doing some other job, engineering or something, I can't remember what. And him and his vile missus, and it's shocking. It's shocking when you hear Jenny's testimony. This all went on in Middle England, in a lovely, quaint little village, you know, in the Chiltern Hills of Buckinghamshire, in a lovely suburban road, with this respectable guy who used to write the sermons for the priest in the local village church, cricket green, cucumber sandwiches and whatnot. Ex-military guy, loved by everyone, served the crown. Tea went in my eye tea. And in his garden, he had this menagerie of children. You know, they were living in what can only class as third world prison conditions. They didn't even have a toilet. They fed the children in animal bowls, dog bowls, and made them eat off the floor. And Jenny is the most lovely, compassionate woman you've ever met, and she came along as support for Jen. How beautiful is that? How awesome is that? You know, and Jenny actually has been a friend of our little community for well over a year. You know, very much involved with the victim survivor SRA community that we've got, and I just think she's an awesome individual, and her story will just question everything. And again, the same people involved. And as Jen was giving her testimony, Jenny was just sat there by her side, just out of camera shot, as support, and just nodding and crying all the way through. So we didn't just have Jen there distressed, we had Jenny sitting there crying as well, because Jenny said, they did that to me. There was no lying. They did that to me as well. I went through it, and then, like I said the other day, she was pulled up the bottom of her skirt, a little summer dress, and her legs were just full of cigarette burns. So there was no one tucking these girls in at night. You know, no one loving them, caring for them, no one. There were just people there raping and abusing them. Grown men, people of position, people of privilege, people that were respected in the community, in the church, in the round table, in the Freemasons, in the police, whatever it might be. They all hid behind these groups, these organisations, and used them as a tool to access children and continue their fetid, vile, evil torment on these kids. And do you know what? Everyone let them do it. Everyone let them do it. And who's going to believe a kid? You know, oh, they're lying, it's nonsense. What a load of nonsense. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. It's just, yeah, like Lou said, it's just gone too far. And we've all allowed it to happen. We have all allowed it to happen. We listen to the testimonies of adults and say, oh, yeah, no, they're not lying, they're telling the truth. And yet we totally disregard that of a child. And it comes down to it. Who's going to have an established mind, an ability, a cognitive ability to put together, to construct a deceptive sentence? Is it going to be a young child, or is it going to be an adult? You know, it's going to be an adult, because they've got the ability to do it. I'm not saying children don't lie. Of course they lie. But when a young boy, his anus is ripped and he's bleeding, is he lying? When a young girl has had a hymen ruptured and is pissing blood, is she lying? When a kid is taken to a doctor with syphilis at the age of 4 or 5 years old, are they lying? You know, are they lying? We really need to start sorting this out, you know, and I'm calling out now, because what we've heard is turning all criminal profiling on its head. We've heard in the last few testimonies 100% unanimously that the women were equal, if not more prevalent, in the sexual and violent abuse of children. So that has turned it all on. You know, people have got to get out of their heads this perception that a paedophile is a white guy, lives on his own or with his mum with big milk bottom glasses, and he's a bit odd. It isn't the case. Wake up. Wake up. And I'm calling out here to all the grown men out there who love their children and they love their families and want to protect them. You know, Where are you? When the Germans were doing what they were doing, you know, in the last two sort of major wars, every grown man, they were queuing up for the fight against this tyranny and this evil. Where are you now? Why are you not standing up and joining us side by side and saying we've had enough of these perverts? Where are the grown men that are barristers, that are doctors, that are appalled by their bosses and their kinfolk and their peers, you know, that they've covered this up? Where are you? Why are you not coming forward? We've had Dr. Ali, who's given a podcast, and I think he's brilliant, and he's agreed to provide some therapy for people. He's awesome. I like you. So Dr. Ali Ajaz, God bless you. You're a tremendous individual. We've had no GPs come forward and speak out. I've had no senior coppers come forward and speak out. Not one senior copper has come forward and said, John, I want to say about the cover-ups because I knew about it. Not one. Do you know what? Fuck you. And I mean that. You knew, some of you, and you do nothing. Social workers, not one social worker has agreed to come on and give a talk. Not one social worker. So do you know what? F you too. I don't want to keep swearing, it's wrong. It's just wrong. I've just had enough of it. And I'm just saying, have you not all had enough as well? Look at Jenny, you know, she was skin and bones. Jen, sorry, last night. You know, look at her. How big would she have been at 18 months? At 18 months. They were immersing kids in baths of blood. This was corroborated by 2 more SRA survivors who contacted me today to say, thank you for doing that interview. It's not bollocks. It's the truth. It is the truth, right? And unfortunately, what stops a lot of people calling out, not that they're frightened of their abusers, they're not, that they don't want to upset their family because they've got children and their children don't know about this and that they don't hurt their children, and that seems to be the common denominator. And I have to respect that. I have to respect that. One of them's actually given me the details of her child to ring her child up and have a chat with him, and I happily do that, you know. And what I say is just speak out. Speak out. Speak out. The devil loves secrecy. The devil loves, you know, the police used to have all these covert units. They even sanctioned a covert unit to look at me for 2 years during 2016 and 2017. They had covert units turning up at meetings where I was to monitor me. Do you know what? Fuck you. Fuck every one of you. I don't want to get banned, so I'll say F you from now on. You know, every one of you covert officers that's turned up to pray and watch me, you know, and those who sanctioned you, you know, piss off. And what am I doing? I'm standing on a rooftop, speaking out, because so many others won't speak out. And I'm giving this platform to anyone who wants it. Anyone who wants it. Anyone who wants to speak out within reason and relevance, obviously. Obs. Got to be relevant. I'm saying to you, come forward and speak out. These tossers are shiting themselves now, and they are. There were coppers. Police officers from Scotland Yard, senior detectives. You know, one of them, he's gone on telly to tell the world what a brilliant man he is. He, I no doubt, will live in a nice big house in a nice part of leafy England, you know, with a little church and a cricket green and whatnot. And everyone at the golf club will know what a good man, because he was head of the vice unit, you know, the obscene publications unit. And this guy is on the Reigns list. He is on the satanic list. His name has been corroborated by more than 2 people independently that he would turn up at satanic rituals. We have evidence after evidence, testimony after testimony. If people say that ain't evidence, well, do you know what? You prosecute a case of historic child abuse. Do you know what evidence you ever have? My word against your word. That's all you ever have. So when the police say we've got nothing to go on. Well, they never have had anything to go on. It comes down to my word against your word. No one is present when this abuse takes place. It's so old, there is no corroborating evidence. Historic is after 48 hours, because that's when DNA is dead. Right? So when the officers come and say that, it's because they're lazy, because they ain't no good, because they just want to piss off home. If you want gold, then you effing well dig for it. Right? And we've had these brave, and these are brave people. These aren't these coppers who reckon they're standing up against tyranny. These detectives of the elite Scotland Yard Vice Unit and blah 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 and everything else. You know, they're not brave. People think they're heroes, they're brave. They're not heroes and brave. These victim survivors, they're the real heroes. And they have given testimony that Satanists rape them, put them on altars, little kids, gang rape them, gang rape a little boy's anus, a little girl's vagina, gang rape them, 20 people, and then women doing the same coming forward, animals used. One woman said a cat, they would use a cat to lick her thing. Another one was made to perform oral sex on a dog, on a little Jack Russell dog. A little girl was made to do that. Then they would piss and shit on them and ejaculate on these kids. And there's a fucking police officer, man, a police officer, a detective chief inspector who's on the effing range list, and his name is there, and he was attending these meetings, and we're going to do nothing. He was the gatekeeper. We heard from Brave Nikki, a woman that was a street worker, right? And she was a crack cocaine user. We heard her telling that there was an inspector, and she's prepared to name him, at West End Central Police Station that had a jurisdiction for Soho where the runaway kids would congregate. He was offering other street girls that were banging trouble with drugs 500 quid a pop during the 90s, the late 80s and the 90s, to procure for him a child, a runaway child. Well, we all know what he was going to do with that child. And this guy's copped a pension, and his mate that was in the Vice Unit, and they were running it. We talk about organised crime. Well, this is organised crime par excellence. There is nothing to compare to this elite firm that were running these units and allowing it to effing happen. There would have been informants on the street. I've worked the street. I spent as much time on the sodding streets as Nikki has. My life was on them streets. I know how it works. And you're telling me that people didn't know what they were doing? Already there's another street girl that wants to talk out because she actually did procure a child for this man. I'm not blaming her. I'm thanking her for coming forward. But he's the one. Now, we've got to get together, everyone. Now, there's nigh on 400 people watching this now. I no doubt when this is all finished, and in 2 days' time, I'm going to get maybe 10k viewers, 10,000 people. If every one of them wrote to Cressida Dick and said this has to stop, right, then maybe we'll get somewhere. And if everyone shared my video, I get just over 500,000 followers a month on Facebook. 500,000, 500,000. Imagine 500,000 letters turning up on Cressida Dick's door, bang. Wouldn't be able to open the door. You need an Arctic to deliver it. This goes on, everyone, because we do nothing. Don't sit here and watch these podcasts for entertainment and think it ain't your problem. Well, what can I do? Well, do fuck all and let's watch it continue. Or we can do something and make it stop. We're not after a revolution here. We're just after the right thing to be done. We're just after justice to be done. And we're after people that are having sex with kids and doing every other stuff with kids to stop doing it. We don't need any new laws. We've got brilliant laws. We've got the best laws in the Western world, maybe the world. Well, let's start enacting them. And let's start getting our chief constables, our MPs. And if our MPs do something, now let's get rid of them. Let's out them. And all the MPs on the range list. Come on, let's start getting them out. That are still there. Still there. They're named on the range list. Don't anyone send me a message saying, where do I find the range list? For God's sake, please don't do that. I've put it up so many times I've put it up. Yes, we'll arrange a template letter. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. And let's expose this. There is no greater crime than the destruction of a child. No greater crime. And I'm calling out to everyone that's been involved. Do something. Speak out, and if you were involved, then stop it and grass up those that were. Do it. Come forward and do it. Give us the information. And I say to all those who were trolling us, you better stop it now. You better stop it now. And I say to everyone, when we get a troll, they need to be smashed on Facebook and told to sod off. They do. Not implicating any violence. I don't want any violence against anyone. I don't mean the smash in that sense. I mean they need to be told to sod off, you know, and they do. Because enough. We can't waste any time with these people. We can't. And we can't, you know, last night there was someone called Tracy. It was absolutely hammering the dialogue, and thank you to all the others who told her to F off. Thank you so much. Really, really thank you for that. Okay. Well, sorry about that. That was oh, another thing. Yep. The church. Nikki, I'm doing it. The church, right? What are they doing about this? You know, when you see the adornment of the churches, these beautiful buildings, and someone told me about a church in Poland which has got an 18-ton solid gold altar, solid gold. You know, why? Jesus didn't own anything. He even said that even the birds have a home, I have nothing. He owned nothing. Jesus didn't need any of this, yet he became the most feared king ever, and he stood up against Satan, you know. And they're doing evil, these people. And if you listen to what Jenny was saying, you know, like with Freemasonry being a spider's web, they don't understand low down, they don't. But every move they make, like a fly hitting that web, it will resonate and they will know what's going on. But ultimately, at the centre of that web, is the devil. Is the devil. And it will be the same for a lot of things in society. At the very centre, it is the devil. They're doing nothing. If the police were really bothered about this, if they were really bothered, they would be doing something about it. They would be doing something about this. My fight is not against the beat Bobby, it's not. My fight is against the commissioners of police who know what's going on and yet choose to do nothing. They choose to do nothing, and yet they're allowed to become a peer when they leave, especially the commissioners and the mayor, become a peer, get a peerage, get £1 million pension with 100 grand a year and whatnot. I don't know how much they get on their pension, maybe it's 50 grand they get paid off, a huge working wage, and they've done nothing. They've done nothing. And then they're on telly and they're seen as respectable and decent. Well, some of them might be, but if they've done nothing to stop this, then they're not. They're worms. They're maggots. And we need to put an end to it. And the MPs that are told about this and do nothing. Filth, maggots. And again, the church, what is the church doing? Why are there priests not speaking out and just saying, I've had enough of this. We've had enough. Why are they not speaking out? Why have we not got cardinals, bishops, or whatever rank they are, stand up and saying enough? You know, some churches are not even allowed to mention the word Satan in churches because the bishops don't like it. Well, get rid of them then. Get rid of these people. We don't need them. We don't need any of them. You know, what does the church do anymore anyway? What does it do? We have seen it in the independent inquiry. They've covered up just as much as the old bill has, you know. And we the people, we need to say enough now. And the intelligence services, you know, that always intervene. MI5 always intervene. Why? Why are you intervening to stop this getting out? Why? Why are you doing this? Do you know, you may think you're okay with it. You may think you're doing a good job suppressing these victims and silencing the likes of me. Right? I'm in my 50s now. I'm not going to live forever, and I don't want to, but I will die on my feet fighting for this cause, and I will. You know, I'm not a big tough guy. I'm not into knocking people out and whatnot, and I'm not. But I'll tell you what, I will hold the front line in this fight against child abuse. I will be the first one through the door, and I will. because I believe in it, and I believe I'm doing the right thing, and I'm driven. That's why, and I will do that. But I say to these others, you are going to go to your grave, every one of us. No one's getting off this planet alive. Your telly ain't going to help you. Your big flat screen telly, your Vogue SC Range Rover's not going to help you. Your holidays abroad and the all-inclusive places, they're not going to help you. They will not help you. They won't. Jenny was going to give a talk about the abuse. She ended up on the street, living on the street. After all she went through, she ended up living on the street. You know, there was no memory foam mattress for her, centrally heated and concierge service where she was. She was on the street. No one's getting off this planet alive, and you will, whether you believe in God or not, it don't matter. I don't care. I'm not interested. But no one's getting off alive, and you will all be held accountable, whether you believe it or not. It don't matter. And I want to go to my grave knowing I did everything I could to make an effort to stop this. If I look at how far I've come in getting my name out there in order to stop this, it's just been incredible. And all I've done is utilise every minute of my day to campaigning for this. There's London out there. I guarantee you now, if I walk down central London, I'll be stopped. All along my way, people saying, well done, keep going, well done, keep going, well done, keep going. And again, this isn't about my ego or nothing. That's not why I do it. I do it because it's the right thing to do. And I've got the platform, and I will use the platform. And I want people to start sharing the work. Right, and on a light note, please can everyone write a letter to Pepsi Watson, aka Adam Robinson, care of the Mount Prison, Molyneaux Avenue, Hemel Hempstead, Bovingdon, Hemel Hempstead, Herts. If you Google it, you'll find it. I can't remember his prison number. He's stuck in the nick. He's my cameraman. He's my fellow campaigner buddy. He's stuck in the nick in this hottest period we've ever had, in this ridiculous, stupid, nonsensical lockdown. He is in there, and he's going out of his mind. Please can we send him letters? Please can we send him even a little card, a birthday card? It's not his birthday, but do you know what I mean? Something. A wishing him well card. Do you know them? Wish you well. Please go and buy a wish you well card. You can get them in Poundland and send it to him. Let's fill his wall up with cards. I'll do one tomorrow to show everyone, and I'll put the address up tomorrow, and let's do a little thing for him so he gets all these cards sent to him and cheers him up. Please can we do that? Because we have to support our fallen brothers and sisters, because that's what we do as a community. That is what we do. We do not leave people behind. All right, this is what they've done to us. We cannot let them do it anymore, you know. We're not going to do it. We're not going to play that stupid game. So please keep writing to Peps. We've still got our little campaign. I'm going to forward up with Roy Silver about the petition. Petition, not partition, petition. Yeah, I will. I'll put the thing up on it about the prison. I'll post it up. If anyone wants to support Jeanette, please. It's Jeanette, JEANETTE.21 at live.co.uk. So Jeanette.21 at live, live.co.uk. 6035AK, A6035AK. That's Pepsi's number. And you know, Jeanette needs support. She's part of the community. She's taking a managerial role now, and she's doing quite a bit of coordinating. But she's still part of the family. So if anyone wants to chuck her a couple of pennies, you know, so if there's 10,000 people, if everyone chucked her a quid, well, she's sorted then, isn't she? You know. And I've got Netflix still with me. Hopefully going to be interviewing a victim of trafficking on Sunday, so please stay tuned on Sunday. We're going to be sort of in the Essex area Sunday, talking to a victim of human trafficking, and she's going to explain how she was dragged into it, and now even though she was in North London, no one stopped to do anything about it, and she was a young girl, so it's going to be an important message. Hopefully next week we got Jenny. She's written a book, Nowhere to Belong. Very articulate, intelligent lady, and she was brought up in a shed. So next week please stay tuned, Jenny, and then there's a few other people that are coming forward, and it's just moving in the right direction. So I'm a Satanist troll. Who put that on there? Why would you say that? I'm a Satanist troll. My hand's gone dead. You know, please, I don't need any nonsense like that. Stop all that. I'm a Satanist troll. Please write to say thank you. Yeah, Greek George has put up Pepsi's thing, and let's read. Right, A 6035 Alpha Kilo. Alpha 6035 Alpha Kilo. Okay, Adam Robinson, care of HMP The Mount, Bovingdon, Hemel Hempstead, and it's HP3, Hotel Papa 3, I can't remember the rest. Even if you just put HP3, you'll still get through. There's only one prison now. Alright, and in Hemel Hempstead. So let's send some wish you well cards to Pepsi. Let's fill the side of his setup with wish you well cards, and let's cheer that wee laddie up. And thank everyone. And if anyone wants to get in touch about funding the night vision cameras, we've got a brilliant team at the moment that are going and looking at these addresses. We're getting a lot of information in, and again, I'm willing to share anything we have with the police. I always tell people to go to the police and give them the right to do F4, which is usually what they do. And they usually say we have no evidence, but it's just bullshit. They just don't bother looking for it, you know, and that's that. So, right, God bless. Let's have a little look. Of Freemason codes. Who said that about Freemason codes? Don't get caught up in the infight, it's not worth it. Thanks again, John. Just reading a few messages out. How much are they? Gav, they're 500 quid. They're a monkey. 500 quid. So we need 2 pairs of them glasses. Someone called Stacey's. I'll have to block her. Just an idiot. You know, Satanist troll. They love it, don't they? You know, putting stuff up. I'm saying, oh God. Well then, Stacey, if you are a Satanist, then you're going to rot in hell, aren't you? You know, you might think you've got the last laugh, but you haven't. You haven't. You know. What have you done? What have you done? Why have you done that to yourself and to others? Why? Why would you do that? I'm just responding to someone who's claimed to be a Satanist. You know, who's popping up in here. Why? I don't know. I'm not reading it right. Well, you know. Anyway, so that's it. I'm not getting caught up in all that nonsense. Do you hate Satanists? Satanists? Well, we all hate them, don't we? We all hate them. William Wallace, God bless. Say hello to Darren. Yeah, well, I'm trying to say hello to Darren. He's gone off the radar a little bit, but he will be back. I've heard it from a reliable source that he will be back. And stay tuned. Monday 6 p.m. Monday 6 p.m. Jeanette is doing Jeanette Arch is doing a talk live with Shawnee Atwood. All right, and that's about it. So yeah, Dylan's got some red light. Right. Anyway, God bless. I'm going to go and have another brew now. And thank you everyone. And I'll do an update tomorrow. And please, can we look at Jeanette.21, Jeanette JEANETTE.21 at live.co.uk. Say hi to Lenny Harper. I think Lenny watches this, so I think Lenny is watching. I'm not sure, but Lenny is a friend and a Facebook friend and everything else. So so that's it for the night. I've not really slept well in 3 days. We've been on the go from 5 a.m. till at least 1 a.m. For the last 3 days. So I'm pretty much shattered, you know, pretty much shattered. So hopefully I'll be up in the morning for a swim in the lake and with little Millie, and I might do a little live from the lake. So yeah, please send Pepsi a card. Let's send him a card, you know. So until then, let's go. Just anyway, right. Let's just see where the sun's going before I go. Let's just see where the sun's going. Right, yeah. So say goodbye to London. The smog's back, which is a bad side effect, but Why the hell are they stopping us? Anything to do with body maintenance, like hairdressers, gymnasiums, swimming pools, they've shut them. So things that are cathartic, good for you, and have been proven to put illness at bay, they've shut down. Even spiritual well-being, like churches, again, proven to help if you've got, there's a deeper argument there, but they've shut them all down. So this is bullshit about this COVID nonsense. Honestly, what a load of nonsense. So if we look out, the sun has gone down Edgware again, so it's slightly more to the northwest. We can see Wembley in the background, see the Arch of Wembley, and that's Kilburn over there. And if we look down, we've got Notting Hill, Trellick Tower, and sort of central London there in the background, as it's all darkening now for the night. And the posh St John's Wood down there. Anyway, Lou, I'm on my way to answer your call. All right, so God bless and night, everyone.